How's it going? My name's Sean. I'm a full-time clothing eBay reseller, and today I'm going to talk to you about my weekend sales. I'm going to talk to you about some of the best sales, but I'm also going to talk to you about some of the sales that keep this business alive. So over the weekend, we had 73 sales for $1,912. Pretty solid day of sales. One of those days was over $900 in sales, and the other days were pretty average. First item up, this was a vintage shirt. This is a Y2K lip service. Now, I have never heard of Lip Service as a brand, but whenever I see a brand that has like skull and crossbones or anything unique, I'll just look it up on my phone and see if it's worth anything. This one was worth quite a bit. I ended up taking an offer of $78.57 plus my $8.99 shipping cost. Now, that is an extremely good profit for an item that I paid about maybe $3 or $4 for. My average buy cost on items is about $4, and my average profit is typically $7. This one blew those numbers out of the water. I had a viewer of the YouTube channel, his name's Matt. He wrote this comment right here. He was pretty much saying, why do you do the $4 into $7 profit if you could explain? So I was like, yeah, I'll definitely explain. I'm going to make a video on it. Now, as you can see, this is an American Eagle flannel. Now, it is one of their slightly older models. It's not one of the new ones. It sold for $11.19 plus the $8.99 shipping. Now, the thing about that is if you look at the eBay fee calculator and you type in $11.19 into the calculator and you add the $8.99 shipping, now the item cost on this one would have been about $3.50. And the average ship cost is about $5, which this one may be slightly more just depending on where it is, but $5 is about the average for most of the shippings. And whenever you look at the total net profit off of that, and that's with my, top rated seller discount, it's $8.53. Now, $8.53 is not a lot of money, but whenever you consider that this American Eagle flannel selling all in for around $20 to include shipping, is something you can easily find in any thrift store in America. Now, ideally, I would like to make $10 or more, but at $8.53, if you can sell 10,000 of those a year, you're gonna make about $80,000 a year. I live in a place where the cost of living is a lot lower. We have a mortgage with a low interest rate back from 2016, so we don't have to worry about expenses as much as other people. So this is basically my model to get through the year. Anything else that I do to make money is pretty much just like fun money, like pure profit, you can call it, just anything outside of the norm, like say mowing a lawn or making YouTube videos. I have brand deals like Gyropack. No, we're not going to get into a Gyropack ad in this video. I also do things where I do reviews for products and then people pay me for those videos. I also get commission on sales of those items. And there's just a number of ways to make money now online. So eBay is the brute that makes all the money for my family and for my bills. And then anything else I do outside of that, whether that's running ads for people or creating content myself, is icing on the cake. But yeah, $4 buy cost into $7 profit, run that back 10,000 times, and you're gonna make a pretty good living. This next item falls pretty much in line with that 4 into 7. This is a Walmart uniform short sleeve polo. This is a men's XL. Now this polo, I probably paid like $1 or $2. Thrift stores do not price Walmart polos as high as Polo Ralph Lauren's and other, brand name clothing items. So these are easy to pick up. I probably picked up 8 of these at the same thrift store. This one sold for $10.04 plus $8.99 shipping. With the $2 buy cost, you're right there around the $7 to $8 profit. Speaking of Polo Ralph Lauren, this is a vintage cardigan. This is a wool cardigan and it did have those elbow patches on it. This is vintage because it's that horizontal blue label with the white lettering. This one sold for $49.99 plus $8.99 shipping. So almost $60 for this one. I probably paid like $7 to $10 for this, but had I seen it for $20, I probably would have picked it up at $20 as well. It's a tremendous piece. Anytime you find cardigans with good brands, definitely take a look at them. And then if you see anything that has anything special on it, like these elbow pads, it can just add some value to the item. Next, this is a Robert Graham long sleeve button shirt. Robert Graham is a tremendous brand because they have really loud and boisterous looking patterns and prints and colors. This one is a geometric print. It's very much on the tamer side for Robert Graham. However, being a 2XL, this still sold for $28 plus $8.99 shipping. Very happy with this kind of sale. It's an item that I pick up pretty much regardless. Even at $10, I would pick something like this up because, I accepted this offer and occasionally they can go for a little more. You're going to want to look for the bigger sizes and the louder prints. The next item I wanted to throw in here is this Wrangler long sleeve denim pearl snap. Now this is a 2XLT pearl snap which on its own is great, but the reason I threw this one in here is because this buyer actually bought 13 items from me. He was not a reseller. A lot of times I do get bulk deals from other resellers, which they're paying anywhere from $7 to $9 an item. This buyer actually paid between $13 and $18 for all of his shirts. Really happy with that. The way I do bulk shipments like this is I have a reduced shipping discount. I do not just lump it all into one shipping cost, which a lot of people would be like, well, why didn't you just ship it for, say, $8.99? But he ordered 13 shirts. So the way I do this is I do $8.99 shipping for the first item and then $2.99 shipping for each additional item. Meaning 2 items, it's going to be $11.98. And then if you do 12 additional items times the $2.99 and then add that on to $8.99, that's the total shipment that buyer ended up paying. I'll just put that number up next to my head here so you guys can see the total amount, but I'm not sure what he paid for each item. I just know that it was a great sale. It's really nice to see somebody filling out their wardrobe from my store. Then we have this Smartwool long sleeve crew neck. Now somebody had told me Smartwool is like really good. I didn't know their crew necks would go for this much money, but I ended up taking an offer of $27.50 plus $8.99 shipping. The reason I wanted to put this one in here is because it is a size large. However, in parentheses, I put medium. The reason I do that is because the measurements, the pit to pit, is actually more closer to a medium size rather than a large. Now, some brands do run on the smaller size, similar to like Nike footwear being a little bit tighter than some other shoes. I like to put it in there just in case the item might have shrunk in the wash and the buyer can kind of get an idea of it. There is a little bit of confusion from buyers whenever they see the parentheses size. Most people understand what is happening there, and then I usually have a quick message that's already saved on my phone that I can just send to the buyer to kind of further explain why the sizing is in parentheses. I sold this Patagonia pair of pants. This is the Ironclad. I've picked these up in the past. I got $30 for this and then the $8.99 shipping, of course. Now I priced these a little higher at $40 or $50 plus the shipping. This size again was a bit smaller than the true size, actually 3 inches smaller on the inseam. Now that can be a problem for some people, so if this one is returned, I wouldn't be surprised. Roll of the dice when you're at the thrift store. Sometimes you can kind of like line them up to your own waist and see if it's too short for the tag size. I still wouldn't pass on this even though it's 3 inches off, just because it is a very desirable pant that people are looking for. Staying in the pants department, here's a pair of jeans. This is Ariat. It's the M5, which is the slim straight jean, and this one has an extremely small waist with an extremely long inseam. That's a very good thing to find. Even though Ariat's a really good brand, if you find a mediocre or lower tier brand that has this ratio from waist to inseam, there's a chance it can sell. There's very few people on earth that have this inseam to, waist ratio. Those people do need to wear jeans and pants. So if you can fill that need for them, they're going to pay up for it because they usually can't find their size because companies don't make that many because there's not many of those people on the planet. This one went for $30 plus $8.99 shipping. Now I did have this one at $50 plus shipping, but Ariat has fallen from grace slightly as far as like how much money you can get for them. I'm still confident paying like $15 for a pair of Ariat jeans. I have paid upwards to $20 for a pair of Ariat jeans, but it has to be that perfect size, which in my opinion is a 34 waist, 34 inseam. Last but definitely not least, this is a Ralph Lauren. This is a purple label. Now I think I took a pretty low offer on this one of $50 plus $8.99 shipping. It's a solid white. It's made in Italy. I think this might be one of the only purple labels I ever found. I priced this at $200 when I found it because I was like, oh, I finally found a purple label. But in all honesty, $50 for a shirt that I paid like $5 for, I'm okay accepting. Maybe I could have held out for more, but it had sat around for a little bit and I was ready just to move on from it. I hope you guys learned something from my recent sales. And Matt, I hope you understand why I do the $4 buy cost into $7 profit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below what kind of videos you'd like to see, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.